I'm in it, man. I'm deep in it. I'm deep in it. Yeah. Get y'all mind out together, man. It's okay to start over if you feel like you're not heading in the right direction. Let me tell y'all a story about my journey as a musician, as an overall artist. So, I'm not going to start from the very beginning, but I'm going to start from when I started taking music seriously from a perspective of getting my name out there and getting some type of social influence. When I was about 15, I came up with a game plan for SoundCloud. I was a beat maker, which was real popular at the time. We talking about like 2014, 2015. People was still bumping instrumentals to this day, but that's when, the beat scene, as they would call it, exploded. So I was just posting consistent beats. I don't know how consistently I was posting, but I posted a lot of beats. And I ended up networking in the Facebook community against my own safety, but also just collaborating with other artists in the Facebook community, just trying to push things forward. And along the way, I co-founded a collective with 2 other artists called the Press Squad. Our entire goal was, at least for me, I can speak for myself, my goal at the time was to get as many ears to my music as possible and to become a better musician, to become a more practiced musician. And this was working. Like, I really got into a flow of just being on SoundCloud. People at the time, they loved SoundCloud. Like, it's a far cry from what it used to be back in the day, but I just consistently posted on there, kept collaborating, kept getting my name out there. I would tag people in my posts who supported my music. I joined another collective called T6, and some of those people helped my music get out there. Through all of these experiences, what was lost in translation was sustainability and really believing that music could be a long-term career. There were certain songs like HMU Part 1 and Hirachi's, which was like a remix of Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye. Songs like that, they was popping off. It was a lot to take in. And then when I got a mic, that helped me even more because I had time to develop my skills as a writer and to get away from some of the edgy music I was making at the time, just from, just not having access to a mic anymore. But once my parents got me a mic, I started dropping vocal music. Those songs was also getting a pretty good amount of attention, like songs like Let the Dead Sleep, Clear Acrylics. All in all, at the same time, I was going through a lot of bull in my household, a lot of abuse, a lot of physical confrontation, a lot of, manipulation, just a lot of mess. Like, going from school to school because my parents was running away from whatever they was running away from, not even finishing school years, just transferring. But music stayed with me that entire time and documented everything that I was experiencing and all the thoughts I was having. And then once I was kicked out and forced to acknowledge reality and exist as a young adult with no parental help whatsoever, I guess in the midst of all that, everybody kind of stopped using SoundCloud and started going to Spotify and Apple Music, and I was not ready to make that change. As music was changing, I was changing. My mental health was evolving in a way. My character was evolving, but at the same time, I kind of had given up on music and kind of felt like people didn't really care about anything else I put out other than Let the Dead Sleep or Hirachis. You know what? I still struggle with that to this day, but I attempted to start a new chapter back in 2019. I wasn't ready for that either. I wasn't ready. Trinity was done, but I had no marketing plan. So my partner Mars, they was like, do you have a rollout ready for this? And I was like, no, I don't. I was just planning on dropping it. And they was like, nah, you need a rollout for this because this is a really good project and it can't get put out and looked over without you actually putting some effort towards a rollout. I wasn't really with social media. I thought it was just like this cute little thing. Like I used to make sketches and just unserious videos because that's just how I saw social media. I thought social media was, it wasn't a serious platform to post your music and to try and change other people's lives. I didn't even look at it like that. Of course, now I look at it like complete opposite. Also, after Trinity was done, I started experiencing debilitating panic attacks after I went to a nightclub and got to, and had a panic attack in front of a whole bunch of people. After that kind of just became the norm every time and I kept doing it. Yeah, I know. But I don't know. I felt like I didn't want to stop. I felt like I wanted to figure out how to get the panic attacks to stop. So music kind of became less of a priority. I looked at it like I needed to get a job and I needed to work on my mental health. And eventually I got to a place where my mental health improved and the frequency of the panic attacks started to cut down year after year. I got to a point mentally where I was kind of between some crossroads because I had just got fired unjustly from this racist cafe. And I was really putting more thought into my presence on social media and really pushing songs such as Resident Evil, Firelink, and NASA. And I started seeing some pretty good feedback, and I started getting streams from these songs because I was intentionally making sure people heard them, putting them on social media, making sure the music reached the people. And then I was invited to an annual show in Omaha called the Film Fleet. That was my first show. I had performed in a talent show as a kid, but this was like my first show as a lecturer. It changed my life because the reactions to the music was not anything I was expecting. I came into it with no expectations. I came into it nervous as hell. You probably can't see it, but I know myself well enough to be able to see it looking back at the clips. But it really showed me this is something that I could do consistently. And then I did another show at Project, and I tested music that wasn't released. I was amazed. Like, I was flattered. I was amazed at how people reacted to it, and it really planted seeds of faith in my mind. Like, I can do this. I was never taught that music could be my livelihood in a way that, I make an impact on the culture and to make a living. It seemed to be the beginning of those ideas being erased. I definitely had went through some setbacks before eventually dropping Rochelle's Passion, which was kind of just like, it was an anti-pop record, a protest record. I intentionally made the most disconcerting project I could to try and match the state of my mind at the time. This was definitely like a project that I initially didn't even appreciate fully myself until recently. Day after day, I was doing my research on just how to become a better artist who's more open to the world and more open to showing people my gifts, because honestly, I was afraid of being seen and I came up with any excuse justify why I didn't want to do it other than fear. But I just kept researching, I kept getting my knowledge in, taking notes, and I even worked with some people who helped me out, who helped me understand what I was doing more and gave me some structure and direction. And now I realized I was finally ready. All those steps that felt like it was a waste of time and I could have did this, should have did this, and if I could go back in time, this and that, all of these things prepared me to finally drop Trinity. And I'm gonna be honest and say that a part of me still feels some type of way because I missed the validation that I got from posting and knowing that it's a community of people ready to support my every release. You know, music is not the same as it was in the 2010s. It's changed a lot. I could have kept complaining about it and kept making excuses, but I decided to get up, do my due diligence, and be the type of person that I am right now, sitting in front of you, who's showing up consistently regardless of a number. It's not about a number, it's about the impact that you make. The numbers come after, because the numbers will tell a story about the impact, not the other way around. Not the other way around. You know, start over if you really feel like you've been going in the wrong direction, because even though I am still not in the place where I want to be, I am also in the place that my younger self would be happy to see. Looking back on it, that same young girl who thought that she would die by the age of 21 would be proud to see me, and she will only be proud to see me right now only because I had the courage to start over, only because I had the courage to abandon a lot of limiting beliefs about myself. I had the courage to try new sounds that was daring, that go against the grain, that go against the metrics. Still, even if you listen to my new music on Spotify and you tune into the radio, they're going to show you music that sounds like Let the Dead Sleep. And that used to bother me so much, and it still kind of does. But I feel like I've grown to the point where I'm ready and I'm willing to put in the work. This is a new chapter for me. I think the utmost respect anyone can give to a new chapter in their life is to show commitment. It's kind of like starting a new chapter in any type of relationship. Are you still gonna hold on to the same behaviors, and then when they don't work anymore, you just gonna walk away from someone that you love, from someone that pours into you, and vice versa? Are you gonna walk away, or will you commit? Commitment has become everything to me, and that's something as a kid I didn't possess. I didn't see this as an occupation. I didn't see this as a lifestyle. I saw this as something that I just do. I didn't give myself the justice or have enough self-esteem or feel enough safety in my body to know that this journey would work out. Some days are easier than others, but I've leaned in. I'm in it, man. I'm deep in it. I'm deep in it. Yeah. Get y'all mind out together, man. But I'm definitely committed. I'm definitely persistent in doing what I love. But yeah, this is a new style to the vlogs. I know that I only posted one other vlog. You know what? I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to cover my head. I don't want to show up in ways that I don't feel proud of. I don't want to humble myself in order to get my message across. I think that I practice enough humility. I think that the messages in these videos will actually travel further if I show up in my full beauty. So if you've been watching this far, I appreciate you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. My new EP, Trinity, is out. You can get it on Bandcamp. You can listen to it on any streaming services you want. Right now, I'm trying to get my title situation together, but they haven't hit me back yet, so I gotta contact them again. But yeah, thank you, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.
If it's an issue, I can hit you. You just a zombie under your Nazi. Hey, you got real cool. I know you talking shit right behind me with them ugly ass acrylics. Oh my god, the hoes look fine. I said my boundaries.